A reminder, Jim Hunter will be at Bunkers at Brown Deer coming up at 11 o'clock. We're going to give away those clubs that people have been registering for all week long. Those beautiful golf clubs from Brown Deer. Brown Deer in Coralville, Jim Hunter there at 11 today, broadcasting live. The Suterman Show brought to you by Deary Brothers Ford. Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Mike C. Keys for Cars. Tavern Blue on the Coralville Strip. GT Car at Supple's Building and Remodeling. Supple's Flowers, home of 1-800-800-ROSE. The Midtown Family Restaurants. Harty and Stocker Jewelers. Diamond Dream Sports Academy. Premier Automotive. The Ox Yoke Inn. Streets Maintenance. And Dr. Lance Forbes. Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids. Here's Suter, along with Pat Harty from HawkFanatic.com.
And Captain Steve.
Yeah. We got those clubs we're giving away today.
Yeah.
I'll just throw this out before Pat gets on his
What's going on?
Bill Belichick.
I saw 24 and 72 or 26.
What the heck? He's
Dating a 24-year-old?
24-year-old.
Have you seen? I mean, and she's not homely.
No. And he
Well, at 70, I mean, you could argue that even for a 72-year-old, he's not like, I saw it and I immediately thought of you in the show and thought we'd be talking
what
about.
The hell?
What do you think of that, Suter? 24.
Hey, nice work if you can get it, Bill.
Yeah.
What do you...
I mean, I think you have to ask her more than him, don't you? I mean, him too, yes. But with her, is money in
what the hell?
Is it really that important?
Yeah, really.
You still your dignity and
yeah. And what are you going to talk? Seriously, it always goes back with me. What are you going to talk about?
Well, Taylor Swift. You say she crosses all ages. Maybe that's
okay. Well,
every night they just bond with Taylor Swift music and just there you go.
You just never know.
Yeah, you know.
Maybe Bill is dynamite in the sack.
He was more of a defensive coach than offensive.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But if you asked her, she'd say it's because, we're soulmates. I love him.
Yeah.
I mean, the Stones are looking at that one like, wow, look at that.
That's really bad.
Way to go, Bill.
No. I mean, he's going to be in the front row of their next show. I mean, she is absolutely beautiful.
I mean, she's 4 years younger than Amy.
Yeah,
Well, what?
6 years younger than Molly.
I mean,
come on.
Well, it's just so ridiculous.
He's your age.
Yes.
I thought he was, what is he, 72?
72, I think it said.
74.
I thought he was 70, or maybe I thought he was 72. The tweet I thought was 72-24 or 72-26. I'm pretty sure he was 72. Either way, I mean, I'm sure his buddies are high-fiving him, but her friends are like,
what the kind of shivering.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, I guess some people are just desperate.
I get which one?
Yeah.
Oh, the young one.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe she likes old things.
Yeah.
Anyway, last night I think Boston forgot to show up. One time they were 52 points behind.
I didn't watch a second.
52 points behind, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
When I saw the early score, I'm like, Boston's done. I didn't watch any of it.
And then I watched the College World Series, and all the teams in there are either from the ACC or from the SEC.
Yep.
And both games were walk-offs. And why is it in a walk-off you run after the person that caused the win and tear their clothes off?
That's baseball, I guess.
Ask Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Well, the same way, like when they win, when these college teams win these series and stuff, they also go and pounce on whoever had the winning play or whatever. And God, with me with claustrophobia as bad as I'd be going nuts under those piles of bodies. You've seen how they do it.
Oh, sure.
I mean,
Well, they dog pile.
Dog
One
piles.
guy said he was on the bottom of a dog pile, and he said, I was glad I finally got out of there. I couldn't breathe.
I
thought,
could not.
that could be dangerous.
It would
Why
drive
would
me
they
nuts.
do it?
I have really bad claustrophobia. It would drive me nuts. Well, remember what Rob Houtland said about after he made the field goal? I mean, Vlasic got hurt during that dog pile. Remember that?
Yes.
85? Yeah. No, it's scary.
Well, I think they dogpiled one time, and Nate Kading got a collarbone broken.
Yeah, I don't remember that one, but yeah, no, it's dangerous. I mean, it is.
Nate probably does.
Yeah, I'm sure he does, but no, it can be dangerous. But whenever I see them, I imagine myself as the person at the very bottom of that thing. And some of those things take a minute and a half. I'd be going insane if that was me.
Well, there's one guy said when he was on the bottom of a dog pile, he said he was all twisted. And he said, I was wanting to get them off of me, so I bit the nearest seat to me, and it ended up being his own.
Jeez. Wow. That is twisted all around.
Yes, it is.
Bad, Chief.
Yeah.
Yes, that's not good.
Anyway, I hope Belichick has a wonderful time.
I'm sure he is.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Maybe this will keep him old. I mean, keep him young.
Keep him young, well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to remember that those hot chicks are just plain Janes with 5 pounds of makeup on them.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Not always.
Okay, goodbye.
Yeah.
Not always.
Have a good day.
I think the makeup helps, but I saw this girl's photo, and I think she'd do okay with limited makeup. You know, it's funny. I got to thinking she's 22 years younger than Tom Brady. One of his.
So now, they're an item, or is it
They're
just...
dating.
No,
it
they're
said.
dating.
They're
For
dating.
sure.
Yeah.
They're dating. They were seen.
Jesus.
Yeah.
They were seen in the toy section. He buys her a big Clifford the Red Dog.
Well, it's just. I got WNBA released some statistics. Attendance this year from last up 156%.
Yep.
And that's of all games being played. About 400,000 fans have attended the games, filling the arenas to 94% capacity.
Now you got to sustain it beyond just Caitlin in those games.
Yeah.
Did you see that the WNBA lost $50 million again? Did you read that one?
Last year?
Yeah, lost $50 million.
They're going to make it back this year.
I would think. I mean, I just saw the story posted yesterday. That it's been a losing endeavor since it started, and but yeah, I thought $50 million seemed really
Ratings
high.
are triple what they've ever been. Usually the average is 460,000. It's now 1.32 million.
Yeah, that's a significant jump.
It sure is.
But in fairness, 460 wasn't very high.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, they got to get up there to be. But yeah, hopefully they can start turning a profit.
Their social media channels are up 380% compared to last year.
All right, I don't know if you have this, but...
And sales are up of their merchandise.
Merch, yeah.
756%.
All right, now the biggest statistic... Okay, now Angel Reese has said that people are coming to see her, that she's a pretty major cog in the churn, okay? Right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, when the Fever played the Mystics, there were 20-plus thousand people there to see Caitlin and the team. And when Angel Reese was there were 4,000.
Yeah, it's
4,100.
That's what she's going to do. And
she's got to push her brand. I get it. She's got to fight
that's
back.
great.
But facts tell a different story. And
They do.
I think most logical people who know about Caitlin understand that and don't always have to shove it down people's throats. But Angel's just being disingenuous there. She knows. She sees those numbers.
Yeah. Well, when Angel starts dating Whitman Mayo, he's still alive.
Warren Buffett.
Greg Morris from Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
You're trying to find.
Isn't that Brady from Sanford? And
Whitman Mayo.
Yeah.
Was that what is that who it was?
think
Okay.
so.
All right. How about Scatman Crothers?
Yeah. What the hell?
I think we're going to have a theme throughout today's show. Did you try to get Belichick on? You've seen him interact with the media, haven't you?
Got one of those Mickey Mouse phones.
But yeah, that when I saw that on Twitter, I'm like, good grief. I just kind of chuckled.
Yeah.
What do you do? It's just, I'm just amazed at what motivates some people.
I did get the hit up when I at Hy-Vee why didn't you talk about Caitlin's engagement? Well,
they got engaged.
I didn't see that.
I didn't hear.
Yeah, supposedly they're engaged.
I haven't seen anything
That's
announced.
what's being reported, and so
by where, like on.
I absolutely haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it, but now, I mean, I'm happy for him. But I don't care.
What are you going to talk about? Yeah, they're in their 20s and they got engaged.
Yeah, I'm just odd that you haven't seen, because that would be
seen a single thing.
That's weird. Was it not on the? That would be all over.
Absolutely not on the message board.
Yeah, it was in some.
So we're not just
Hollywood Vine magazine, Sportscaster 360.
Yeah, I'm.
Caitlin Clark engaged to Connor McCaffrey in a heartwarming proposal.
Yeah, I'm like I said. If that's the case, hey man, I'm happy for him.
Yeah, you bet.
We're by no means reporting this as fact.
Well, why would we? Kids get engaged.
They do.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, if they are engaged.
If they are, I mean that. Yeah. It just seems odd that those two outlets would be the ones reporting something so private. I mean, especially with how today's. I mean, there's people a lot closer to Iowa that follow every move Caitlin makes. You know what I mean?
And there's been crickets.
Well, you would know more than I. You're on the message boards more. I haven't been on Twitter that much the last.
I just opened up my Facebook last night and it popped up.
Yeah,
that's the first thing that popped up.
We're not doubting you.
Well, he's not the one saying it. He's just reporting.
I just gave you the.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, when it's official, I'll say great. I mean, right now, I just.
Not doubting you about Bill Belichick dating a 24.
Well, that one's legitimate. I mean, that's one's. It's just weird that those stories or whatever you just haven't made it to like Iowa Twitter, unless they haven't. Because like I said, I don't follow many people, but I follow enough to where something like that, I think it would show up on my time. There's Caitlin Clark crap that shows up on my time, and when I say crap, it has nothing to do with her other than two people using her to push their different agendas, and they fight back and forth. That's all it is now. But you'd think
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
He broke up from Linda Holiday.
What about Linda Holiday? Who did?
Belichick. I want to know how old. She's 61.
61 and now 24. Well,
that's moving in the right direction.
Well, but she's really good looking.
Well, I mean, she's only a year older than me. Hopefully, there's still some good looking 61-year-old women out there.
Yeah.
Linda Holiday.
Yeah. No, Tommy, I'm not asking Karen if she would date a 24-year-old.
You just did.
Well, we can ask her. No. Karen, would you date a 24-year-old pool boy?
No.
With a trust fund? With a massive trust fund. Massive. So, all right, well, you were saying I was telling him about my MediaCom experience. I'm done now. I mean, I'm going.
We'll go there this week and hook
this could be I need to give him 7 days, but yesterday was the strangest thing. I'm just watching TV, and all of a sudden it just goes out in a way it never has gone out before. And then, to make a real long story short, went through and worked with the tech guy on the phone, one of the stranger guys. He believed in taking long gaps in between conversation. You know those things with Southern Justin you guys have?
Yes.
Multiply those by like 5. So there was 8 or 9 times during this 2-hour conversation where I said, "Are you still there?" "Yes. I just like to take gaps in conversation." I'm like, well, I don't, especially when my stuff isn't working, So, but what happened was somehow my TV went out around 4:30, and this guy went and did this log script thing where he went and looked. Somehow, right about 5 minutes before my stuff went out, somebody went into my account. What do you call it? My account, or they switched. They switched my connection and my password. And this guy doesn't know why. The only reason he knows it's MediaCom is because it showed evidence of MediaCom being in there. And I'm like, well, why did somebody do that? Because it made my service not work. And we ended up going through this whole routine, this whole pain-in-the-ass process of giving me a new password and everything, when it turns out we didn't really need. All we had to do was relaunch my old password. But this guy, but for some reason, they went in there and they switched, because I have when you have a wireless connection, if you're wireless, you go, oh, there it is, you clap it.
Yes.
I didn't have that. It changed, and this guy kept saying, "No, your wireless is this one." I'm like, "No, I switched my wireless 2 weeks ago. Why would it change in just 2 weeks?" Then he did some. Then I heard him go, I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Well, there was somebody in here," and I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "That's
so just somebody trolling."
No, a Mediacom. Somebody in there doing something. No,
they hit the wrong.
He said, somebody was doing he called it a script roll or something. And he goes, "I don't know why they were doing this to your account and why they switched." And I'm like, "Well, that's kind of I go, "Is it a security?" He's like, "No." He goes, "But somebody came in there and switched your."
They got the wrong account. It comes up on the screen, and maybe there, was like the name next to yours that came up on the screen, and they were having problems.
But it was 2 hours of just.
That stuff is so frustrating.
And this guy kept saying, he goes, "Yeah, yours is." He goes, "We've had a lot of this, but yours is." He goes, "This is the strangest one I've never seen."
Had a lot of this.
He said that, and he goes, "I've never seen this though. I've never seen somebody's password change without you changing your password." I'm like, the last thing I want to do is change my password 2 weeks after just getting a new one. I go, "You guys changed this." It was
That's bizarre.
But no, like I said, I told him I'm probably switching to IMON too, and he's like, "Well, we hate to lose your service, but I'm looking at they can see your profile history," and he's just like, "Wow," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's," and he goes, "We hate to lose your business, but I mean, stuff's ridiculous."
Well, they didn't hate to. I called them up a month or 2 months ago and said, "Hey, is there something you could do to reduce this TV bill? Because it's."
And they said no, right?
They said, "Sir, we can't do anything. I mean, it'd be a lot cheaper if you got YouTube TV."
Well, that's what they. Well, my first one was Hulu. They told me to do Hulu. Now they're saying YouTube.
Yeah.
Is Hulu like YouTube? It's its own TV service.
Yeah.
But YouTube, everyone, I've been being told YouTube's better than Hulu. Would you guys agree?
I don't know. I don't have it.
It is for me because Hulu doesn't have some of the channels I watch.
And that's what I've been told, that YouTube has most of the channels I like.
Yeah.
But no, it was just, and it didn't help that this guy, he spoke perfect English, so he was just incredibly odd. And I was incredibly upset, so it made and he was defensive. And it was just made for just a bad 2 hours. Not the way you want to spend 2 hours on Friday night.
I've had good repairmen, and then I had the one that I thought was auditioning for Dateline. Yeah. Just wouldn't talk.
Was he like the serial killer? What was that movie, Man-Eater, in '86 with,
Yeah.
Was he like that guy?
Yeah, he just wouldn't talk. I mean, at all.
So, like, you asked him a question, and he would.
Yeah.
And it was crickets?
Crickets. And just.
Was he worse than the Minnesota baseball coach?
Well, he at least said yes and no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
you got two sides of this thing, because poor Suter didn't know what to do, and I, for some reason.
No, I will say, in fairness to me,
found some glee in it.
So what do you do in that instance?
You just keep asking.
You just cut it out?
How long did you go? Did you ask every question you wanted to ask, or did you finally say enough of this nonsense?
I can't remember.
We ended it. And I didn't really find a lot of glee in it, but I mean...
Oh, I bet you did.
Yes, you did.
We were at his close.
Why didn't you try to help and ask some questions? Why didn't you try to pick up your partner?
Well, it's like he only had 2 fingers out of the water.
No, he wanted me to go swirl down the drain, and I did.
If you would have had...
Was Anthony still around?
Yeah.
You should have just had Anthony get on and start being mean to the coach, then see if that would have...
It was ridiculous,
Well, especially since they reached out to you. Yeah, that does seem a little...
I just handle those interviews differently. Yeah.
Well, I should have handled it like you did.
I mean, I just start laughing at the guys or women.
And I've seen him, and he's not a real talkative guy. I mean, I think he's one of those guys when he's in his private moments with his players and whatever, he's probably great. But I've seen him in, like, Big Ten interviews. He's not Bruce Pearl. So, yeah, I don't think this was anything that you were struggling to do.
Oh, man, that was brutal.
But, yeah, that would have been – I would have probably –
You've never gotten over it.
No.
So when you look for Minnesota baseball, do you look for them to lose?
Yes, I pull against them every single
So
game.
you hate Minnesota baseball?
Yes, deeply.
He's not their coach anymore.
I know.
He retired.
I won't forget. Won't forget.
All right.
Well,
I haven't forgiven Don Nelson either.
He's dead, isn't he? Or is Don Nelson
No,
dead?
he's still alive.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
God, I have a tendency to do that.
See,
the older you get, the more you assume people are dead.
Don Nelson was the son of one of my teachers in Rock Island.
From Rock Island, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was mean to Suter.
I know. And then he came to our class, and he signed all our autographs with his name, not an X.
Yeah.
You know, the only way that would have been better is if instead of an X, he would have said, like, told you to go, like, F yourself. Go F yourself, you little crap. That would have been even a better story.
That would have.
But then I think you would have showed that to your father, and he may have had some issues, right?
Well, I did show it to my dad, and he said, well, I can get the autograph for you. I
But
said,
that's
no.
not the point. He'd
said
already
no.
hurt your feelings. But what I'm saying, if he had told you to go F yourself, I think your father would have maybe gone to the coach and said, this is not the way to treat a kid.
Maybe he just was having a bad day.
He was with his buddy, and
did
he
his
was
buddy
kind
do
of
an X?
smirking.
Did his buddy do an X?
I can't remember who he is. No.
Was his buddy a player, a fellow
Yes.
teammate? Okay. Well, like I'm saying, it could have been worse than an X. He could have. How old were you?
I think 7 or 8.
That does seem a little mean for
It was mean.
I know.
7.
He came to our class and signed everybody's autograph.
Yeah, not mine.
Did he know that you were your father?
I don't think so.
That is odd. I couldn't imagine anyone do.
Oh, he was just a cocky college kid with his buddy, and he wasn't in the mood, I guess. But it's
All right.
been
So who do you hate more, John Anderson or Don Nelson?
Don Nelson.
Okay, wow, that one cut deep. That X cut deep.
The anti-Caitlin Clark. Refusing to sign for an 8-year-old kid.
Meanwhile, my worry for her is someday she's going to get like carpal tunnel from she's always just signing. I mean, she just is so, outpouring with fans, out giving.
She is so damn good at handling herself. It's amazing. You know, especially.
She always says the right thing.
Yeah, and she's 22, so
Yep.
I mean.
All right, so here's my question about Caitlin, okay? So if she continues to, get between 7 and 10 points a game, 3 or 4 assists, a couple rebounds a game, how long are people going to want to watch that? They want to see fireworks.
Well, I think they'll give it this season.
Yeah,
For
probably.
sure. I think she'll break out of this. I mean, how many has she had less than 10 points in back-to-back games?
Yeah,
I believe she
I
has.
think so.
Yeah, she had.
Yeah,
10 and 7.
But the
wasn't
thing
it?
is, she's not getting many shots. Didn't she take like 9 shots one game?
And 6 one game, I think. No, she's not getting many shots.
But since I haven't watched them, is she playing with the ball or off the ball?
Both.
Okay, what just doesn't make any sense is that she's not getting many shots and she's playing both positions. I think they just need to stick the ball in her hands and just let her go, but they refuse to do that.
Sides wants it to go inside out.
Well, I get that. It went inside out at Iowa.
Yeah.
I mean, it did that a lot, but the problem is when they put Erica Wheeler in there, Erica Wheeler has to have the ball in her hands, I guess, because she can't shoot. And then that puts Caitlin as the shooting guard, and she goes and stands in a corner. And, I mean, Caitlin's good at creating her shot. Caitlin's better at creating her shot in transition and with the ball in her hands or coming off the screen. It's harder for her to score against really athletic players in half-court sets, especially when they dribble around and then maybe give her the ball in the corner and she's got like 3 to 5 seconds to either get a shot off or get it to somebody else before the shot clock expires. I've watched enough of them. I mean, I don't want to blame it all on the coach, but I don't know why they just won't let her be the point guard.
And there was some.
They might argue and say too many turnovers.
I saw a statistic where she took the ball, like the third quarter the other day, she took the ball down the court 24 times, gave it up, and it came back to her 3 times.
See, that's not right. I think she's got to get 15 to 20 shots a game.
I absolutely
Yeah,
agree.
I mean, and if she's struggling, you got to let her. I think she's earned enough trust to where let her try to shoot her through these little slumps she's having. She's also had some games where she's been really hot. She made 7 threes recently.
Yeah.
So, but there just doesn't seem to be any sustained consistency with how they approach things.
No.
But that's been a big criticism.
No, it is, and it is. The coaches are,
the
but
coach.
she also has to play better.
She does.
She's got to play better.
Yeah.
I mean, she'd be the first to tell you that. She's got to play better. I mean, she can't have 7 turnovers. And she's had several games
multiple
with
games.
at least 7 turnovers.
Yeah.
She can't do that. She's got to get that figured out. But I still think you got to get the ball in her hands and just, kind of fight through some of these struggles right now. They're winning a few games and what have you, but I just don't like when they send – and they have such a weird offense when she's in there as the shooting guard. They do. They send her down to the very baseline corner side, and she stands there half the time.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. So, but
I don't either.
What's more frustrating, the coach or MediaCom? Would you say the coach's use of Caitlin Clark or MediaCom's?
Well, for me, it would be the coach.
Because you don't really care about my struggles with MediaCom.
Correct.
You really don't care.
Well, yeah, because I'm curious. I got you a Roku. We'll get you Imon.
So you guys are ridding in like another 3 weeks. I'm going to be paying half the price for better service.
Yeah.
Okay, my our CenturyLink bill last time was $167.
Yeah.
That's your
Why?
That's your internet.
Because they're crooks.
That's your internet bill.
Yes,
Well, you're not on any promotion thing. You've been with them for
and
a
that's
while.
also the landline.
Well, yeah, my MediaCom landline's $4.99 a month, and
Well, this
Imon
one
said the
must
same
not
thing.
be.
Well, listen, we had CenturyLink out here. It was $750 for basically dial-up.
Tom, you could get right now. You could get the same thing I'm getting with Imon for it with everything. It'd be like $65 a month, and it'd be locked in for 4 years.
I mean, seriously, we went from $750 a month with basically you got mail to $200 to $300 with fiber. CenturyLink, Lumen. Well, you know what I think of the damn company.
I do.
And
that's a lot.
It is
because MediaCom told me, even without a promotional package, my internet would be somewhere between like $95 and $120 a month, with just on its own. And you're paying $165.
$167.
Has it been that way every month, or?
I'll wait and see the next one, but I think it's been around that.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You go to Imon and you go to YouTube TV.
And you'd be like me. You'd be paying $160 a month.
Which we're paying for internet only now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel for you, Tom, but like I said, my bill, I'm paying a $390 bill.
That's ridiculous.
Well, right now it's $310.
Well, it's $310, but the
minute they move the TV up to the living room, I'm just canning.
Well, mine, if I were there August 1st, mine would go up from $310 to $390, but I'll be gone. I just don't want to say, because I don't want MediaCom to shut my stuff off. Before I want to have it pass seamlessly from Media, because I can't go 2 or 3 days without internet at home. I can't.
Yeah.
And Imon said, let me know the day you're going to, the 7-day notice, and they said they could set it up. So, I mean, they're they want my business. They've been putting flyers in my door every day for a year, giving me bags of popcorn. I mean, like, that popcorn was good, too. That's what made the deal. Popcorn was the deal. That's what sold me.
I had a guy come to the door the other day. We were out back on our porch, and the guy was pounding on our front door. So I went out. It was a pest control guy with a laminated cost sheet and saying, yeah, I want to talk to you about your pest control. And I said, well, we have guests right now. We're not interested.
You're talking about a bug spray guy?
Yes.
Okay, I do 2 a year for $50 each one.
But he laminated cards, real aggressive. And I said, I'm not interested.
How expensive was it?
I have no idea.
Didn't even bother
I don't
looking?
care.
And did he take that well?
He just said, well, my name's Kyle or whatever it was, and, I want you to give it a try. I said, well, we're not interested.
Okay. Did it go from there?
A pest control guy going door to door.
Well, I'm not trying to one-up you, but I told you about the lawn service guy that came to my door and was just so bizarre to where other neighbors were talking about him like an hour after he left our neighborhood. He was so forceful, and I told him went with a different business because I've been using Greg's lawn service for you, and it wasn't that one, but it was and he's just like, well, why would you do that when we can be so much cheaper and better? And he said it like really condescending. Yeah. And I'm like, well, they've been serving, and this was before I'd only done one service. And the funny thing is, I go, well, I'm happy with their work. So what does he do? He does a slow turnaround and looks at my grass, and he kind of goes, kind of, and then looks back at me like, dude, your grass looks like crap. Well, and it was just it was the weirdest exchange. And finally, I just had to say, man, I'm not interested. Please move on. But then he went to two other neighbors, and it was funny. I was talking to one of my neighbors about a couple hours later, and she brought it up unsolicited. She's like, hey, did that guy from so-and-so stop by here? I'm like, yeah, and he's like, he was bitching about, why doesn't anyone here want to talk to me about using our, it was the strangest exchange I've ever, usually those people are pretty nice, and then they'll go away. This kid was condescending and just did not want to go away. It was strange. But when he turned around and then looked at my grass, and I was just like, what the hell? This guy's ripping my grass. And I'm not saying it's pristine, but it's okay. No weeds. But the look he gave me, then he turns around and looks at me like I'm just a fool. He gave me a look like he thought I was the dumbest guy on the earth because I wouldn't use their service. Oh, you would love to have seen. If you would have watched that exchange on video, you would love. The guy made me feel like I was two inches tall.
So would you guys have talked to the pest control guy? Come on in, Kyle.
No, I don't.
Let me get you something cold.
Anybody that comes to the door, I don't talk.
Well,
to.
Especially with guests there,
if it's like a local person running for school board or whatever, I'll talk to them. But if it's anybody selling anything, and anybody just.
What about like Girl Scout cookies and stuff?
Well, that's usually a neighborhood kid, so I'll do that.
Yeah, I'll do that, but I'm not.
And they're good.
Yes, they're
very good.
They're good, yeah.
But I'm not dealing with.
I like the coconut ones with the little chocolate stripes in them. What are those called?
I don't know.
Well,
don't know.
I mean, we had some guy came around and I just had got the roof or the roof fixed. Just had a new roof put on. And he comes around and he goes, we're doing your neighbor's roof. Are you interested? And I said, I just got a new one. And the guy backs off and looks and goes, they didn't do a good job.
He's just trying to sell it.
He's looking at the damn house.
I've had that happen to me.
From the driveway.
I've had that happen to me twice since I'm still paying off my roof. I mean, I'm in the 6th year. It was an 8-year payoff thing. And I've had a couple people, but the one guy was honest. He goes, "We're just in the neighborhood. I'm looking." He goes, mine was done like 6 roof. You need a roof for 15, 20 years, don't you?"
Oh yeah.
I got a lifetime on mine, so yeah, they're just trying. I mean, I'll tell you, Jimmy Streets he understands. There's just there's always been a desire to make money. I get it, but it's really and new appliances aren't near as good as old appliances.
No,
like I'm getting a new refrigerator, and I guarantee it's not gonna. I'm not getting one yet, but it's not gonna last as long as this Maytag I've had for nearly 2 decades. Because I've been told by lots of people that today's things are just made to last maybe 7 to 10 years, and then you get a new one because.
Well, when we got our refrigerator. Toby Hyde bought it from Toby Hyde. He goes,
"What kind is it?"
Whirlpool.
Okay, those are really good.
And he said, this will probably last you 30 years. And I said, well, it ain't going to last me 30 years. so who's
the next donor?
Yeah, whoever next.
Well, if you're lucky, because like I said, I've talked to a lot of people who said they just don't make them to last as long as they used to.
No, they don't.
No,
and it's a strategy, and I get it. You gotta. But like I said, I'm riding this Maytag.
Well, it's a strategy, but it's also just cost. They could make them a lot cheaper than they can make them now.
Well, there's also more things on today's refrigerators. Like Jimmy said, more things to break.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's so expensive to have a service guy come out now to do things, to fix one small, to where they always tell you, just buy a new one.
Yeah, and then you get that appliance insurance.
Because I've been looking at refrigerators. I mean, I saw a nice refrigerator. I think it was on sale for like $897. Normally like $1,500. It's on sale right now. I mean, that's not bad. Especially if you have to get something fixed, like a built or something. They charge you $400 or $500 to fix something. That's so.
Well, that's when my TV went out. The Samsung that we had. And, I contact Samsung and Best Buy, and, they'll fix it.
But it's so
But
expensive.
it'll be like $450.
And you can buy one for $200.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but there's a difference. I mean, if you look at these TVs, and these are good TVs and everything, they cost $125 a piece. They were refurbished at Best Buy. They're pretty good, but if you compare,
I'd want to get a new one.
But if you compare it to like the picture on Tom's Samsung or my Sony or something or an LG, it's just not.
Oh yeah, no, like I said, my Samsung, it's been incredible. It's one of the best buys I've ever. I'll get another one when this one goes out.
Because if you just look up at these TVs, the picture's fine.
Yeah, until you compare it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like the Reds on CNN on these. Yeah, it looks pretty good, but when I see it on my set, I mean, it's a real blazing red.
Yeah. Well, and also if you look, there's a big difference between getting a TV for $200 or $500.
Yeah,
that $300 difference makes a huge difference too. I'd be more tempted to want to spend $500 to have it last longer and be better, because you're saving $300, but over the long run. So yeah. But like I said, I've been lucky between refrigerator and that water heater I told you guys. It was a Kenmore that was put in the mid '90s. My hot water heater. And Jimmy said Kenmore's that used to have a really good reputation for hot. The thing lasted.
That's Sears brand, right?
Yes, Sears Kenmore. It lasted for 30. And like I said, it was not broke when we took it out. I just figured out you want to stay. That's one thing you want to be proactive with, your hot water heater. And Jimmy's very honest. He'll tell you if you don't need something done. And he's like, yeah. He goes, it probably is a wise idea to get. So I did. Now I've got A.O. Smith, which most people have.
Those are pretty popular.
I think we've had that. Well, ours is an old water heater.
It is old?
Yeah.
Like how old? Like mid 90s?
Yeah.
Well, like I said.
Yeah. But it's.
Oh, my neighbor just reached out to me, Pat. Same pest control guy came around yesterday afternoon. I told him politely, no thank you. Same laminated card. He had made his rounds in the neighborhood before. See, I use...
Yeah, I mean, get out of my face.
I use Standard Pest Control because it's a buddy. It's a guy I met through John Feeney. It's his former brother-in-law, and he's retired, but I use them because they come out twice a year for $50 and spray the house, and that's the extent of my... And so far, I've never really had any bug problems.
And we've used DNR out here, and it's been fabulous.
No, well, you can't fault the guy for trying to... But it's how, you're just annoyed that he didn't leave when you wanted him to leave?
I'm annoyed that he was at my front door. I don't like...
No, I don't either, but you can't blame a guy for trying to...
No.
I mean, he's trying to make a living. But yeah, they can be annoying, but for me, it depends on how they are when you tell them you're not interested.
Well, Imon came to my house when they were wiring the neighborhood.
Oh, they did me too, and they drop stuff in the mailbox every day.
Oh, I get
every day.
All the time from them. He came to the house and said, I can disconnect your media counter.
Well, you know that really big bag of popcorn? I'm guessing next I'm going to come home, there's going to be like three street tacos with like rice and beans from Imon, especially if they think I'm climbing a board.
I mean, if I ever have any trouble with... when I priced it out, when you get... Okay, they'll do it for like 2 months at this, and then... I priced it out. The only difference between Imon, just internet, between Imon and Mediacom was like $7.
Well, and my Imon's cheaper than even the cheapest thing, Mediacom, but that's because I'm a new to Imon.
Yeah.
You get punished for the longer you stay with a company. Imon wants to reward, and they're locking me in for 4 years. So that at the same rate for 4 years. And like I said, the Mediacom told me that they had a promotion internet that would get me down to about $85 a month, which is
pretty good.
Which is good, but I mean,
that's
85
for a couple months.
No, it would be for a year. But if the service sucks, that's that.
Well, I imagine you're getting the 100.
I think I'm getting the most popular one. And like with Imon, there's two different ones with Imon. It's called it most popular, and then but I'm going to get the most popular one. It's the least expensive because when I told them my house, when they're like, oh, it'll work fine for the house. And like I said, it's a promotion for $43.99.
See, and I got with the KFMH running there, I got to get industrial strength.
But even that one was only like $20 more. They were both incredibly cheap. But yeah, they're trying to get all the bit. They're trying to take over the market.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And sadly, I think Mediacom's making it kind of easy for them.
If it wasn't I mean, I like TiVo. I like the serve. I've never had any problem with.
How about the little thing that jumps up and down? The little thing with the box, the TiVo logo. What do you think of that? I see that every time I lose connection because that's the rebooting process.
Yeah.
TiVo, he jumps up and down.
I know, and I told you like that.
No, I'm sick of it. It's gotten so bad to where I no longer like the TiVo guy. I'm pissed because he always represents chaos and disconnection.
He's got a smile.
Yeah, but but I have a smile when my TV's working. All right.
So anyway.
On to the Hawks. We going to do anything Hawks today?
Yeah, we did Caitlin, although it's not Hawks.
Former Hawk.
Yeah.
Former Hawk, yeah.
And
when do they play next?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 11 on CBS.
Oh, cool. I can watch that one. Who do they play? Let me guess. Connecticut or New York?
No,
this guy.
Play on Angel and Cardozo's team.
Oh, okay. And it'll be packed, and Angel Reese will say it's because she's there.
Yes.
I try. She's a good player, but sometimes she just says things that are just stupid.
Yeah.
She just seems like she just wants to fight. And
she does.
Yeah.
I mean, she just seems
but
like...
then to Caitlin's face, but then, I just don't get it.
She does seem like she wants to... And it's not just Caitlin. She fights with other people.
Oh, no, I know.
She wants attention.
But she's being disingenuous with this attendance stuff. The numbers say otherwise.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that. That's
true.
just... That shows you right there. These sellouts are following... I don't know. What does the team with Breanna Stewart and... What does that team draw when they're at home?
New York Liberty, they draw very well.
Even without Caitlin?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know if they sell out, but they sell a lot. They do well.
Okay, so that shows you if you're good, you don't need Caitlin. If you're good, I mean, obviously she helps, but yeah, I wonder if anyone asked Angel Reese about that because that's the kind of question. If they asked her in postgame, I think she'd be nasty. I think she would lash out. She wouldn't want that fact presented to her
and the Las Vegas Aces, their attendance hasn't been all that. I don't think.
No, but it's the right now. It's Caitlin. That's what's fueling everything.
And what's getting lost, sort of in this? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just that if you read, what the pundits are saying and everything,
which I don't. No,
but you've said the same thing. They're not using it right.
But the thing is, what seems to be lost now in this narrative and all the bickering back and forth is because there seems to be this sense, well, why is all this happening to Caitlin? It's just because she's white and attractive to some and straight. No, it's because she scored almost 4,000 points and led a team that had never been to a national championship game to back-to-back. She was the greatest passer in the game for her 4 year. Her stuff that she accomplished at Iowa seems to be not important anymore to some of the haters and the doubters and the people saying this is all just race and everything. She did stuff that nobody else did. That's part of what
man or woman.
That's why those people started lining up and watching. It's not because she's a straight white girl, Catholic. It had nothing to do with it. It may have made her easier to relate to with some people, fine, but it's what she did as a player is why those people were lined up for hours at opposing arenas and whatever. And that seems to be getting lost in all this.
Yes, because she isn't doing it now.
No, she's not doing it now, but I didn't expect her to do it now.
Well,
but she is playing better than any rookie guard in the league. She has had a game with 7 threes. She has scored 30 in 2 games. She is averaging 15 points a game. She is there's tons of ways you can counter all the things she's not doing. And so but it's getting to the point where it's just too much.
Yeah, it is.
Well, even she's saying that.
And what's amazing, too, is how many people spell her first name wrong.
Pisses me off.
The Lyn. I mean, Jesus, you're obsessed with her. Okay, spell her name right if you're obsessed with her. I mean, God. I see as many tweets from outside media influencers have her name spelled wrong. And the other thing, too, did you listen to what's his name, Charlemagne the God or whatever? He was on Bill Maher last night. And I tell you, Bill Maher's show put me to sleep last night. But Charlemagne the God, every time I hear his name, I think of Kid Charlemagne by Charlemagne. Well, I think of Kid Charlemagne by Steely Dan. Great song.
Yes, it is.
Great. But he was talking. Of course, Caitlin Clark became part of the topic, and he did bring up an obvious reason why she's so popular is because she's a white woman who's dominating or has been dominating a sport that's mostly dominated by black. Same way Tiger Woods was as great as he was, it was made even better because he was a black guy dominating a white sport, and that there is something to that. I mean, that's a big part of it. Yeah. I think that gets lost sometimes too, in just the narratives, the agendas, the culture wars that are being waged at her expense, using her as their, I don't know. I mean,
well, like I don't know. Were you here when we've got a listener that went to school with her and everything, and I know the person. I won't identify the person, but I know the person. And she said that she was pissed off that her voice, that they made a big deal in the Marriott Miller Meeks ad.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
With her.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even see that. I don't listen to anything Mary. I mean, I couldn't care less what she has to say. But yeah,
I thought that commercial was tacky.
Yeah, well,
very tacky.
Well, like I said, there is a battle. I mean, the right, it seems like, kind of thinks Caitlyn is theirs. And, you know,
I don't know why they'd think that.
She's white, and she's playing with blacks.
And she's Catholic. And straight. She fits a lot of their
boxes.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I have no idea what she is. Don't care. Couldn't care less. I mean, if she's engaged, great. I don't know why people are so fascinated with me. I don't get it. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, say the same thing about people that you see them in a Taylor Swift just crying. I mean, I don't get that. As much as I love the Grateful Dead, I mean, there are times when I'm like, all right, man, I'm ready to get out of this stink fest. I don't get the hero worship. I've never the hero worship of people and politicians and act. I don't get it. Sports athletes. I've never understood that.
When I first met Kuchar and
were you crying,
his folks? No, but there were people at the tailgate. Girls. I mean, and they were girls. They were like,
you imagine 60-year-old men crying, 14, meeting Ashton Kutcher,
and they were crying.
See, that's just silly.
And I said to him, "You're making these people cry." You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't get. I don't get that.
No,
I've just never understood.
I mean, if you would have bumped into the Minnesota coach before you interviewed him, you would
have been crying, but for different reasons.
I wouldn't have been able to pick him out of a lineup.
He's the guy not talking.
Yeah, he's the silent guy over there.
But yeah, but especially the worship of politicians. I mean, it's so bizarre. I don't care if it's Trump or Putin or
you can.
No, North Korea, you got to worship that little fat guy or he'll kill you. You know, I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, even I mean, you can like an entertainer, you can like Taylor Swift, or you can like whoever. But they're people, and they say, everybody, no matter what, says stupid things on occasion.
Well, how about those old grainy videos of the Beatles landing and the girls behind the fences just bawling? I mean, you would have been like 10 years old then, wouldn't you have been? That would have been like 62, 63.
Yeah, 10, 11.
You know what? They just show that they're just like shivering and crying, and I mean that was a phenomenon. I mean,
yes, it was.
That was crazy. Yeah, I've just never understood that.
I don't get it.
And you're seeing all this shift to authoritarianism around the world.
Yes.
So much of that is rooted in the belief in one person. One person can solve everything for us. Oh, dear leader. I mean, I just don't get it. Oh, dear leader, please, what am I supposed to believe today? I mean, it's
weird.
It's just bizarre.
I've never been impressed with celebrity, and I don't. Well, okay, Eddie Van Halen, we're backstage. I've said
is this the one
before.
where he's been yelled at?
Yeah, he's holding up the phone so everybody could hear Valerie Bertinelli yelling at him. And she was just screaming at him.
Well, maybe he earned it.
Probably, but that just shows you celebrities aren't any different than anybody else.
No, they aren't. I mean, in some ways they are. And money.
Money, but
fame.
Well, some of them.
Opportunity.
Okay, some of them
Talent.
What about Randy Quaid?
Talent.
He's a celebrity.
Well, yeah, but he kind of destroyed his celebrity. I mean, there was a while when Randy Quaid was a celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early 80s.
That's
And
true.
I mean, no, he was, but he's not.
But not all celebrities.
Now there's people that love him, but he's just went strictly political, hasn't he? Isn't everything he does political now?
I don't know what he does now.
Well, I don't, like I said, I blocked him on Twitter a long time. I just had no interest in any of that
You
crap.
think he's an investment concept?
I doubt it. I mean, no, he's a Trump worshiper, isn't he?
I have no idea.
And the last tweets I saw of him were just, I mean, it was like complete, total devotion. And then you got that idiot Steven Seagal who lives over in Russia now, doesn't he? He looks like he's as big as Russia.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Remember that? And he's all fat.
Jesus. He is, yeah.
He looks like Elvis.
He doesn't look good.
Yeah,
I mean, he really doesn't look good. He doesn't look healthy.
I mean, there's these people that want to go live in Russia. I mean, I'm sorry, but Russia
That's
is
ridiculous.
It's a crap hole, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
most part?
it's a third world. It really is a third
It's a
world
crap
country.
hole.
I mean, the water. The water's filthy. The hotels. You look on the outside and you see these grand hotels, and you go inside, and journalists have written about it, where they can't get hot water.
Well, that's what's so
And there's
sad about
mold
Ukraine.
and-
Ukraine was so much nicer.
Yes.
in a
Yeah.
way. Ukraine is beautiful.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So, but all right, on to the Hawks before it's too late.
Well, let's see. What do we got?
We got Iowa football players on Tuesday.
Okay, that'll give us
8. I think
give us something to talk about on Wednesday.
Something to talk about. Then we don't have a show. That's good because I got to go to Des Moines on Friday.
We got an auction.
I know. So like you said, that'll make it easier. I got to meet with some people in Des Moines on Friday, and then I'm going to try to see my nephew and his kid, who I've never seen. He's already 8 years old. I haven't seen him yet.
Wow.
He lives in Texas. Well, he was born about 3 years, 4 years. I mean, I never saw him before COVID, and then since then it's just been, like I said, things
Just
are
hasn't
just
worked out?
Well, he lives in Texas, and I have not been down to Texas in the last. I haven't been to Texas in a while. No, I haven't been down there. So yeah, I look forward to seeing him and meeting him. And
Where in Texas?
Frisco, right outside of Dallas.
Uh-huh.
I was going to go down there a couple years ago, and I can't remember what happened. But yeah, hopefully I'll see them on Friday. And I saw your report, Captain, on that cell phones on that what's his name show, Smirkanish. Yeah. There's like a rash of cell phones being stolen in London. Luckily, I don't keep any banking stuff. I don't keep any of that stuff on my cell phone. Nothing.
I don't either.
I don't have any. I mean, I've got a few photos. There's nothing on my cell phone of any value. If anyone's out there thinking of stealing it, I mean, hell, I don't even have iCloud, so my photos aren't. I mean, I don't hardly have any. Photos.
With the crap we talk about here and the stuff that I search on the phone on Google, it would be. I mean, once we talked about some damn movie with a cannibal, so I'd have cannibal in there, and then poop, stuff like that. I'd be embarrassed to have an FBI guy go through my phone. It's so ridiculous.
But yeah, do you have a lot of financial stuff on your phone?
No.
Yeah, I don't have. No. I'm surprised that people do that.
Yeah, I won't use. I mean,
I've never had.
They push you to use like Google Play.
Oh, they always want you to do it.
Google Play, but Google Pay.
I still write checks for a lot of my stuff. Just out of. I mean, I do some stuff automatically, but the more you do on the internet, the better chance you're going to get screwed with.
Jan writes checks.
I still write checks.
I don't.
And that's too.
Yeah, I don't have financial stuff on my phone.
No, with a lot of stuff. I wrote Jimmy a check the other day, but lots of times with contractors, I'll pay them cash too. But yeah, no, I don't do. But it was interesting. But yeah, it sounds like there's a big, massive theft ring going on over in London where they're not stealing the phone, they're stealing the data.
Yeah.
They don't care less about the phone.
Yeah, but I won't put any banking on there. And sometimes you go, you're not using your phone? No, here's my card.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, one of those automatic pay things, hold up your phone. And, yeah, I don't do that.
No.
I'm going to check and see. Remember, I was telling you about Dr. Doyle's story. It never came out yesterday. I'm going to see if maybe it's out.
Crap, Belichick's girlfriend already injured herself.
Who's?
Nope.
Belichick.
Already introduced herself to who?
She
her high school
injured
class?
herself.
Oh, injured herself?
Yeah, jump roping. So.
Oh.
Pulled a muscle.
She tripped in the rush to see Taylor Swift on the front row. But yeah, I just looked. Dr. Story still is not out yet. I don't know if that means the Times are making him do more rewrites or whatever, but sooner or later that story will come out. Well, it'll be interesting because we can talk about it, and I may write something based on what Doyle said. I want to read Doyle's essay. That's what's coming out. There's going to be sites that will publish his essay, and it'll be interesting to see what he says.
My guess is it'll not be 100% in favor of what's at Iowa.
Oh, I believe that, especially now that we know that they didn't speak when they were brought and haven't spoken since then. And I'm guessing it will be Chris saying, hey, it's obvious I was the scapegoat in this situation. I think that now we're just speculating, but again, he may have been the scapegoat in his eyes, but he was also the guy that was mentioned by more players in the accusations than even Brian Ferentz.
Yeah.
I mean, so we'll see. And the fact that Iowa football, I'm not surprised. They're not going to comment for a story like this. But I was surprised that Kirk and Chris have not spoken in 4 years. Did that surprise you?
Yeah, because they were very close friends.
They were, I just figured they may have behind the scenes figured out a way to patch it. Hey, sorry, man. I mean, this is a really unfortunate situation. But no, it sounds like there's. To me, that means, don't you interpret that as Doyle's bitter?
Yeah, absolutely. Sour grapes. Yes.
Feels he's been singled out when. Okay, so
he was got some blood money. He got $1 million blood money from the university.
That's a decent amount of blood money too.
Yes, it is.
But not when you're making half of that in a year in your job. I mean, obviously he's lost a lot of money over the last 4 years because Chris was making $800,000 a year. He was making almost. I mean, he was way up there as far as because they believed in him strongly. So he got that settlement, but it would have taken him a year and a half to earn that money just from staying at Iowa.
Yeah. But he made all that money over all those years.
He's fine financially. Yeah. And I still say, and I thought somebody told me that he was doing something in Florida. He could also open up a place and people would come to him.
Yeah.
He would be, but it looks like he wants to get back. Well, I don't know. I have to see the essay first. I believe from what I'm hearing that he's damage repair and he's trying to get back. But I think it's going to be tough. I mean, you saw the reaction Urban Meyer hired him.
Yeah, and it was instant.
He was gone in 24 hours. I mean, it was a PR disaster. So,
no.
Oh, Wops, you see somebody who might give her a treat.
No, Molly.
No treats from Molly.
Oh, wow. Molly is hard. And Molly is next. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Oh, did she not give